Hey guys, what's up? Project Kia, right? I'm sure you guys have been wondering what's been going on with it, and I got some crazy news. First off, the winch install is complete. I went ahead and trimmed about 5 inches off of the bumper, got some trim cap to clean up that edge. The winch is all tidied up under here. Haven't got the skid plate made yet, but here's the plug for the controller. If you guys remember, the engine was completely redone and everything. I got on the inside, it's gonna look like a wreck, and I'll explain why in just a minute. I got some new, not new, but leather seats from a junkyard, and got those put in here. Have my dash mat off now, and all of the dash is a disarray. Got this nice steering wheel installed. New dome light because mine was acting funny. New trim piece for the back, and the jack kit because it did not come with this one. New tires. Those are 235 75 15s. Got a full-size spare on there, and that's the lift. That's the 3-inch lift kit installed. It's got some spacers in the front from Up Your Kia. The rear, you use factory Jeep TJ rear springs. I use the soft top ones, and that lifts at 3 inches. The hard top ones lift at 4 inches. Toyota RAV4 shocks in the rear, and extended bump stops. Let's see if we can see those. There they are, the red Kurt receiver and hitch. I got those installed. Mud flaps, found those at the junkyard off of another one. They went right on there, no problem. Roof rack, got the 3 bows instead of just 2 to help distribute any weight that I have on there. So now that puts us to where we are today. I drove the Kia twice. One time I drove it and I made it to work, went to go to lunch, was on the way back from lunch, died on the side of the road, didn't know what was going on, did some diagnosing, saw the fuel pump fuse was blown, replaced that, no problem, blew it again, like instantly. So I knew the problem was a little bit deeper, got it, went to the junkyard, got a fuel pump because I thought maybe the fuel pump is shorting out and causing that issue. Got some relays while I was at it, the fuel pump relay and the main relay. Got all those from a salvage yard for a really good price, so went ahead and put the relays. I figured I'd try those first. Put the relays in, new fuse, fired right up, drove it home, pulled the trailer with it, seemed to be fine. Went out of town for a couple days, came back on Friday, decided to drive it to work. Drove it to work, no problem. On the way back, no problem. So Saturday morning, first time that I wanted to go take it in the woods. I just got the tires installed. I just got these lockout hubs installed and was ready to go. So Saturday morning, set up a plan with a buddy of mine. He has a 4Runner. On the way, I went down the mountain, took it down the mountain, no problems. On the way up the mountain, died on the way up the mountain. Horrible spot to break down, and was pretty sketched out about what was where I was. But I managed to get off the road just enough, and I decided to change the fuel pump right there on the side of the road. I had the tools to do it. I had the fuel pump with me, so I went ahead and changed the fuel pump side of the road. Turn the key, just turns over, no start. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. A guy ends up pulling up with a chain and a truck, pulls me on up the mountain to a pharmacy, and I just waited there till my neighbor could come save me with his truck and trailer. Get it home, I find that the main fuse, that's just what it's called, main fuse, it's the trigger wire to distribute power throughout the whole car. That fuse is blown. Put a new fuse in it, blows instantly. So that brings me to where I am today. After a bunch of diagnosing and chasing, I thought maybe it was something to do with the ECU. So I get to messing around with it, and I find, let's see if we can see here, the light's not very good. This is the ECU. It's mounted right here on 4 little studs. This is not supposed to look like this. Somebody has been in here. I mean, this was mounted up there, but no loom on any of these wires. Some of them look burned. So something has been shorting out, and I don't know what. So I pulled all the fuses out of the engine bay fuse block, replaced them one by one until the new fuse blew. It was on the ignition circuit that it blew. I removed these 2 plugs. These go over to the other side of the dash. So I removed these, turned the car to the on position, nothing blew. Replaced one connector, fuse didn't blow. Replaced this connector, fuse blew instantly. So after doing a bunch of other trials, I found that the ignition circuit was shorting to ground. I haven't been able to trace it much further. Checked the the ignition switch on the column. Found that the wires run somewhere back in here, and there was a ton. You can see some remnants here, but this is like toilet paper or paper towel or something. That means mice. At some point in this car's life, there were mice living in it, and I don't know what kind of damage they have done, and I do not feel like spending a lot of time trying to diagnose this could be limitless issue. I could just be chasing wires forever. So I don't know what I'm going to do today. I just put all the new tires on, all these new parts. The engine is completely redone. It has maybe 40 miles on it. So the option that I'm looking at the strongest is getting a new chassis, and body and chassis. If I can find one with a blown engine for really cheap, I might just swap all of my components over. It's just going to be a really horrible undertaking, and but maybe that's the best bet. If you guys have any insight onto what you guys think I should check for next, if I haven't mentioned it, I'll let you know if I have in fact already tried that, and we'll go from there. But the project is not dead. It is just moved into a phase that I did not expect. I mean, this thing is awesome. I love driving it. I was able to drive it, like I said, about 40 miles or so, and it did great. Rode great. The new seats are awesome. Steering wheel's great. Super quiet. I got the new lower control arms, new upper control arms, tie rod assemblies both sides, center link, idler arm. Literally, I don't know what else I could do to make it any better, and I never expected this issue to arise. It's just not something I've ever really dealt with on vehicles before. But when you have, like this vehicle, when I got it, it was sitting in a field for almost 6 months, so that just leaves it really open to rodent attacks. So I think, again, like I said, I think that my next move is to try and find a cheap donor to swap all of these components over to. I've chased every wire in the engine bay, and none of that looks bad. And when I had the engine out, I literally undid every connector and put it back, so I know that those are good. And it's got to be something in the dash, and after trying to pull it apart, it's just a pain. So sorry for the slow updates, and again, I mean, we can look at it and it's super awesome. I love the way it looks, and I love the way it drove. I just don't have the time or energy to try and diagnose this this issue. So on to another day, and we'll see what we can make happen. But thanks for staying tuned, and hopefully we'll get some new videos soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.